For the record, the members present are Commissioner Chaco, Commissioner Sanchez, Commissioner Martinez, and myself, Commissioner Santos. Chairman Duenas is on his way, but he asked me to go ahead and get started. This is Resolution FY 2024-01. Mr. John Kim and Mr. Beneventi, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The FY 2024-01 is related to authorizing management to award the property insurance and, of course, petition the PUC to approve. The property insurance expires October 31st, and again, this is typically it's a 3-year, 2 1-year options, and what we'll do is that John K has a presentation to show the board the process we have gone through, and actually have some options for you to consider, perhaps as looking at cost reductions and stuff. So with that, I'd like to go ahead and turn it over to John. And the insurance that we're trying to get approved this time is a 1-year contract with 4 1-year options. No? John?
On the next slide, this is a history of our total insured value. This is the total number of assets we are getting insurance. In 2024, we have close to $1.1 billion with assets. Last year, our premium was $6.6 million. And this year, original price came out to be about $7.9 million. Was like 1.3 higher than last year. So we asked to negotiate. We were able to reduce about $100,000. And so it's written quotation was $7.8 million. There are several options we're looking at on the following slides to determine if you want to go for the following slide. Then one of the main reasons why the premium increase is this is from the U.S. weather. All the activities and the losses they had last year. The biggest one that's impacting Guam is the Maui fire that had a significant losses. There were some floods and also some hurricane in California, but Maui seems to be the biggest impact on our rates. And also we also had Mawar in May. On the following slide. So we started out at $7.9 million that we're able to, AM Insurance was able to reduce to 7.8. And we were able to get we looked at 4 options. What can we do? First option was to increase the deductible from 10 million to 20 million. And that's for typhoon, they call it catastrophic, things like fires, but and the second one, we looked at reducing the sub-limit. Sub-limit is $100 million. We'll reduce it to $50 million. Based on last typhoon, our exposure was $26 million loss. Might be go to 30, but and the cash expenditure was close to $15 million. So we did that. They, based on the lead insurer, they say they're estimating about $550,000 reduction. So that's the option. We could take either one or both. So, and we also looked at no typhoon coverage. Probably reason why we looked at that, they said a lot of the premiums was allocated to typhoon. But when we discussed with London, Marsh London, they said they don't recommend it right now. Partly because they're not quite sure what the underwriter is going to do. And the last one we looked at was looking at the fire coverage from $200 million to $100 million. The reason we looked at that because Cabas 1 and 2 historically was the largest one, but they're pretty much going to be retired out. So when we talked with our insurance risk engineer, they said the insurance should be the level where your largest asset is. So the next our largest asset would be like Delta 1 and 2 and PD 7. And they're around $75 to $100 million range. The last recommendation we have for award is we agreed to 1-year contract for 1-year options. The reason why we did have to do this because to negotiate we had to do a sole source, and this is what they're asking for.
So John, why don't, are you saying did we take options 2, 3, and 4? I mean, that would drop the premium, right?
Yes. My recommendation would be to take option 1 and 2. 4,
I'm sorry, not 3. I mean, 1, I'm sorry, 1, 2, and 4, or what are you recommending?
4 is kind of.
When can we get an answer?
4, it's just more of a verbal. They said it was about $100,000 less, but I'm not quite sure if it's worth reducing your coverage from $200 to $100 million for $100,000 reduction. They said maximum is $100,000. So
But 1 and 2 would save us 700,000, right?
yeah, 700,000.
Is that what your minimum recommendation is?
Yeah, that's pretty our minimum recommendation.
What do you think, Francis, on number 4? What do we
So
do?
the discussions we've been having, obviously, how, if we look at our risk, right, obviously we had huge risk and huge catastrophe. On that?
Yes.
15.
2015.
Oh, for the explosion.
Collectively, we all, visited that. I think the ongoing discussions with John Kay and our group behind us is how to really start looking at the overall value of our assets. If we look at Cabras 1 and 2, they're more than fully depreciated, but it does have a value because cannot not say we need that.
At least between now and,
Whatever comes up.
in
right?
case
Even-
something bad happens.
But even if we got Okudua, John, we're thinking most 2 years? Keep it running
Yeah, we're looking at about 2 more years. Yeah.
after that, so we
Wait, after
obviously.
Ukudu? 2 more years
No,
after
no.
Ukudu?
See,
After we get. Okudu
after we
running,
get
how
Okudu,
much longer do we-
after we get Okudu on, we have to retire her within 6 months. Once Okudu is done, I expect maybe 1 or 2 months to burn out all the fuel and everything there, and then we, at the most, you see.
Not so bad to, I mean, so,
And
Cabras
so,
is gonna get retired.
and
once
so
Ukudu-
what's happening now is, of course, there's a January 2026 date, and hopefully we can get that date shortened. No, that's the date that's been thrown out to me, which I've kind of adopted. So I want to make sure we comply, with US
And
EPA.
Ukudu is
So
insured by our partner, right, by KEPCO.
yeah,
So
so
it's on them, it's in our price already, it's
Yeah.
on our bid.
so yes, so we can take it out in 2 years. Yeah, but not probably before, because again, we have challenging risks.
So what do you wanna do with number 4?
Well,
Like 1
I
and 2
think
are
we'll
no
just leave it alone for now, like
I want
what
to
John
talk to
said,
the consultant, right?
Yeah.
I've been asking John, set a meeting up with our risk consultant.
Yeah.
Get the questions answered from their side is, because when we look at typhoon coverage, our assets, they didn't go away. Right, that's the term we're gonna use, right?
Yes.
That's why 1 is good, because we'll increase it, we'll take on some risk, because you're right, generally speaking.
So the real issue is how risk adverse do we want to be? Look, 2 years from now, we have to protect ourselves in the event there's a explosion, I think is the right word we want to use.
Or just some sort of,
Yeah. We know the limits on that, and the way we're set up, we saw what happened with 3 and 4. They're not both going to go. Right, so 1 and 2, and then 7?
Yes.
Yeah,
PD,
there's 7, right? So-
PD7. Yes.
So even the combined loss is, say, 100 mil. Yes. We have to go back and work with our insurance guys. If this is what we propose our limit to be, then what, and then we really have to talk about, do we want to do something about future? What do we want to co-insure or come up with another risk factor in there? We only wanted to cover 50% of our, I don't even know what can classify as water damage.
Yes.
We took water in at, you have to take water in everywhere.
Yes, we had some panel damage at Cabras 1 and 2.
But it's
Uh,
not 100.
Yeah, it's way
We
like
won't even meet our deductible.
yeah, we won't meet it. Yeah, that's the problem. It was a deductible was $10 million,
Right.
so we didn't meet it. So the FEMA covered for us.
So what we were also talking with Anna is that we should take a look at everything and then evaluate whether we take that risk and then also get approval from the PUC that that risk now that we have taken is actually covered by the self-insurance fund of 20 million. For example, even like some of the casualty or other thing, we're gonna, some of those are lower costs. There are some discussions next to that so that if the PUC approve that, that's what that 20 million is there for. But they have to approve, but it's probably, best to get it all approved from them up front and then we just go, that's what I was thinking.
And if
We
we do
talked to
want
bond
to-
counsel, by the way, because the bond covenants do
Yeah,
have
with
an
the
interesting definition. No, but we have to have insurance, but it must be at something that's reasonable. So that definition is broad.
Reasonable people. So,
That's exactly what it is.
so what I like about 1 and 2 is there's some coverage for typhoon. Reading it right.
Yes.
And we're just taking on more risk, but look at the savings in our premium. And I'm even thinking, this is essentially 700,000 for the next 2-3 years.
No, it's only this year. We're not locked in.
Well, but at least for now,
Now, right.
Assuming the savings.
flow through. Maybe, and it may or may not. But even if for 1 year, take that 700, throw it in the self-insurance fund, right? Sort of like, okay, we're saving on the premium side, throw it in the self-insurance side. Hopefully nothing happens.
And
2 or
that's-
3 years from now,
Yeah.
it could be another couple million in self-insurance with these savings, arguably, right? And then Ukudu takes over and we reinsure.
Yeah, because we can
No,
all
sorry, we
work
don't even worry
together.
about Ukudu. Ukudu's out, the fire department's insuring it.
Work together and again tie in our self-insurance fund so that we're covered throughout there's no. The only thing I worry about there is that last word, I don't even know how to pronounce it, the tsunami. Because
That's
again,
only Cabras.
that's only cappers, no, but the storage tanks, so that's why I'm a little, when we get the, it's kind of always going to be there, but our risk is less when we get the Okudu done, because we have few up there, right? And then we may have to rent up in the thing, but that's the only thing that would be left really. And of course, PDE 7 and 8 and 9 or
But they're insured by MEC.
is under the MEC contract right now. So
They're further in.
They're further,
Yeah.
to the road.
yeah, they're not right at the campus. So again,
Why do we classify tsunami? I mean, I understand the word, but does it have to breach?
You're asking the insurance people, it has to be 30 degrees,
What is
and
it breach?
it doesn't cover anything with salt water in it.
There's no stipulation on which, it just has to be rising of navigable water.
Because I mean, the other one was,
Must be
when
90 feet.
we talked about flood, it was,
At least 100 foot tsunami.
the flood classification, guys, that I'm gonna use is, what was it, Henry? Fong Song Lot? When it came into a Daniel Shopping Center? That high water mark for flood has been basically benchmarked. Fong Song Lot, right? Was it the one when it breached Bank of Guam? Okay, so the river got into Bank of Guam, and they said the water made it to Daniel Shopping Center.
that's through the surge of that river, right?
Exactly, so that's been kind of like flood. So I don't know if that can happen at P.
Well, they did a study back that showed, but again, it didn't really destroy the tank area, no. But earlier, is it the vulnerable areas that Cabras, but this is the last step of the entrance. But again, there's still some vulnerability there. That's all. But again, the tanks are $10 to $15 million each. Of course, the inventory, I'm not sure whether that's insured with the tank or that's a separate.
I mean the
The fuel that's inside?
Yes, that's insured. That's the top part of the total insured value.
Okay.
Okay. So, but again,
So if we did 1 and 2, is there still room to do number 4?
There's room. I mean, we can still get more answers because that was just London. We didn't get answers for local.
Mhm.
Because we have about a little bit over 30% done locally.
So if we, what do we do? If we approve, can we approve 1 and 2 with the possibility of 4?
Yes, we could. You could do that. You could do one
least
and
there's
1,
some-
2, and 4, and we'll make it as a decision on management. The price is good enough.
Come back to us.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're not sure, because, yeah, I mean, the coverage reduction, that's your fault, so.
yeah, or
Just one
because
question.
we have to sign by when it by no when
When's your deadline?
Wednesday, right?
Yes. Oh, the property expires on October 31st.
Which is
midnight,
Tuesday.
right? Right.
Midnight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
before midnight.
So we like to word it in a way so that at least maybe not to exceed the number now minus the other two savings. So then we'll try and get a further savings, which will be be below that. But if not, that way we can give a straight resolution to the PUC, and then they can approve it today. So then they can have until the 31st to to see
Finalize the language.
finalize the number, any additional number, be below that, and then we'll just agree to that.
Yeah, and are we approving this today? Yeah.
Yes, we have to.
Yeah, we meeting next Tuesday?
No, they're meeting
we have
Tuesday, but
to-
this
Oh, they're
has to be
meeting
done today.
Tuesday, so we're trying to
The
get.
PUC's meeting
Tonight.
meeting tonight, and
On
so
the
that's
two
why
resolutions.
we're gonna rush the.
Okay, Mr. Moore, you have a-
John, just item 1 and 2 there, you mentioned typhoon, and then when we come to 3, no typhoon coverage. So what happened if we elect number 3? You remove the typhoon from 1 and 2?
No, the number 3 was an option. Like, what would the rate be if we had
Taken
all the
typhoon
pearls except typhoon?
Oh,
They said no.
Yeah,
okay.
they said they don't recommend it.
Okay, nice.
And utilization wise, John, I mean, with these large deductibles, we actually couldn't claim anything for how many years?
Actually, we never filed it. I mean, when FEMA comes, we have to show proof that we tried to claim, but we got denied.
Yeah.
So even this time ago, we got denied, so you don't get the
So
threshold.
then below that, our insurers really become FEMA.
Yeah, the self-insurance
And
fund, right, is
FEMA
what covers.
covers us at 90/10?
Right now, it depends on the amount of damage. And Typhoon Myanmar, the damage was extensive for Guam, so the FEMA gave us 90/10. Normally, it's actually 75/25, but it really
But
depends on the damage.
what is our potential claim?
Right now it's
90/10.
90/10
90/10.
No, but I'm talking about,
Oh.
I mean, our
total claim.
Oh,
street lights, our.
yes.
signs.
We're looking. Yeah, the engineering damage cost is about 25 million. Yes.
That's 90/10 FEMA, that's our request.
But most
So
of the damage
900.
was from transmission. For property, it was only about
$2.5
$5
million.
million, and that's because of Jigo CT.
And then that comes off, the 10% I think comes off of the insurance,
You use the self-insurance. to pay for it.
self-insurance to
Yes.
cover us.
Yes.
So again, we can use that as a leverage as we discuss future type of.
And 10% includes the deductible, the, whatever money you have to, well, you didn't have to claim, right?
You didn't have to claim, so. So again, that allows us the leverage to get higher deductible to reduce the cost. So,
Now, how long have we been doing the self-insurance fund?
oh, 10 years,
Yeah.
at least 10 years to 15 years now.
Been a while.
Yeah.
I have a document.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then,
It's actually, it's good.
No, I mean, we've reached the,
how much are we
remember,
at
we had to
now?
take money from there.
Yeah, and you kind of balance it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bucket of money in case shit hits the fan.
So we're at 13 million now on
Today.
the self-insurance today.
And annually, we get what,
And it's rebuilding now.
every year? Okay.
I think we're all pretty much in agreement on 1 and 2, right? It's
Right.
just
You
It's
want to
just
give out the rate?
for,
Waiting for them to give us
but for, I mean, if the estimate is 100,000 in savings, right?
minimum.
Yeah, so it's like,
Do we have a resolution drafted, Mr. Chair?
Yeah, no, I just need these guys to,
Yeah,
yeah.
we can
So,
bring
and
that
what
up.
does the resolution ask for, 1, 2, and 4?
no,
No, one and
just
two.
What's it ask for?
states the amount.
Oh, yes, we have a revised resolution.
Okay.
We
need
just
to,
finished this morning, so we weren't able
You need
to
to give
go.
that to us.
Yes.
Thank you.
So you're gonna have to change number 1, 2, 3, 4, John? Because it's
We're at
3 period, 2 options, so you gotta change it to 1 plus 4 on the term. Am I not reading that right?
what section?
Where's the terms?
24.
There's
Page
terms
one.
in page 2, and there's also terms in page 3.
Oh, I see, okay, I got it. You put it there, okay.
Make sure they match, John. Because the whereas-
Because the whereas in the front, it doesn't match it.
Yeah, it doesn't-
Oh, that's saying the award in 2018.
Yeah.
It's changed, okay, so we're doing,
But it's the resolve part that matters. I
Yeah.
just want to make sure that does what you guys want it to do.
Oh, so you already have the language in there regarding potential reduction in premiums?
Yeah, this is, yeah, we didn't put the language in there.
It says right here, broker and underwriters will continue to look at options available to reduce insurance premiums before the renewal date.
Just put in there if there's any options available. Like, the one at number 5, these are the ones we know on hand that are options available. So
Oh,
then-
and then you put the premium will not exceed. That assumes 1, 2, and 4 are selected?
if not selected.
Not selected?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So 7, 8 is the,
Yes, it's the max.
So then,
but if you do 1 and 2, then your savings is 700,000.
Yes.
And then 4, you're still massaging what
Yes.
the numbers might be.
Yes.
But aren't we deciding to take those options?
1 and 2?
1 and 2?
Yes.
We're gonna take 1 and 2, we should just maybe reduce that amount, and the only one that
That's
we're
resolve
talking
number 2?
about, yeah, the only thing that we're talking about
The
is
whereas
number.
5 describing the insurance, and the number comes from 5, right? You're increasing deductibles, you're reducing supplements,
Yeah,
you're
because,
reducing coverage. Those 3 things create the premium, right?
Yes, it does.
So
it
this
says
is where,
1 or more. So
Yeah,
we're
right.
authorizing them to exercise 1 or more of those options. So I think we're all in agreement on A and B, right?
Right.
5A and B.
Right.
And then, but we're authorizing them to exercise C if it makes sense, right?
then maybe a comma subject to management. Discussion, is that the right word, or approval, or? Because management will decide and then come back to us if it's 100,000, maybe not, or,
No, I think this resolution is saying we're giving them the authority to exercise it.
Yeah.
So it's that we're approving it. We're approving all 3, but they may choose to do one or
Yes.
more of the following.
Yes, that would be correct.
John, how did you come up with 39 million? No, I'm just curious, because that means that's all Emery can make. You can't quote beyond year 1, guys.
well, he says estimated, so what's
I
the
don't know
right
if-
numbers?
Yeah, because what they used to say in the PUC order, they want to include the four additional, yeah, the
so
maximum
it's just,
contract.
with 4 1-year option is estimated, so
Right.
that's just an
They're
estimate.
not required to fund it.
Yeah, we're not referring fund, but they want
they
to,
want it, okay.
they want the
They want it.
numbers, yeah.
That's what they want, okay. And this is the estimate, obviously, each year each of the subsequent years, the
You
number,
have to
a
come
new
back
number
and-
may emerge.
Right.
Yep.
So may I ask this question? So if you're talking about number 2, then, number 3, and the resolve part, that's just the current premium times 3 more years. Is that correct? the $39 million.
7 times 5 is 35 plus 4, 39. That's the 5. That's for the whole, the 1 plus 4
Plus
years.
4, yeah.
Yeah, so 5
Yeah, but
times
what I mean is
7.8.
that's just the current premium that you're
Correct.
extending out.
That's right. So it's just an estimate to cover the whole.
Okay,
Just one question here on that one. So getting back to that number 5 again, management is authorized to exercise one or more. Can you just say management is authorized to exercise the following options?
we could do that.
We
Yes,
could,
could
I
we-
think we're decided on 1 and 2, right? It's just the last one.
Yeah, I understand that, but.
Do we
You
want to
already-
give them the authority to make a decision on that one, or?
I thought that's what John was asking.
Yeah, I
Come back
think,
to us if it's, I mean, and you were saying if they quote us 100 grand, it's
yeah,
Yeah,
if
still a
we,
savings. It's up to us if we want to do it.
John, is there any reason why we
So
cannot
it's
just,
either, the way it is now is giving them the option
Yeah.
to exercise 1 or all.
Uh-huh.
But I think you're saying,
is
go ahead and
everyone in
authorize them for
agreement
1 and
with
2,
the
for
following
A and B,
that these are
and
the
then they
numbers?
have the
Options.
authority to exercise C?
Exercise the following options. So if it comes to C,
Because,
You mean,
A, B, and C.
I mean.
go ahead.
What are we gonna tell Fred?
How about this proposed Filipino English?
Yes.
What do we just,
Exercise the options. If it doesn't get
yeah,
it,
that's what
doesn't get
he's,
it.
that's what I think.
yeah, I think we're all in
Martinez said.
agreement.
Right, we're in
So I'm-
agreement that
I'm-
they
I'm-
can exercise the option.
So I was gonna suggest some Fino English
Sure,
amendment,
go
right?
ahead.
Let me try it. Management is authorized to exercise A, B, right? And then, if there, and then for C, we could say, if there are savings, reduce the fire coverage. But make it clear that A and B is a go. Right, because that's what they were saying, that's what they want, right?
So we need to first do the motion on the resolution, right? And then
We can amend it.
discussion, so I'll make the motion.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, motion to approve GPA Resolution FY 2024-01.
Second. Okay, now make the amendment.
Okay, to amend the motion to, on page 3 of the new resolution handed out by management just now, not the one on board books, Resolution 2024-01, page 3, on line 5. To amend that line to say, management is authorized to exercise, and then A and B, delete the phrase one or more of the following options. And then let's just add a new 6. Management may exercise option C if there's savings. To reduce the fire coverage from 200 to 100 million for savings, whatever savings. And then you guys make the call. I think that does it in Fino English. Council, does that make sense?
Okay,
second.
So A and B is
Second
for
more?
sure, okay. So A and B is for sure, C is, if there's savings.
So, go ahead, Mr. Chairman, you're here.
So
These
that's
Is that okay?
basically
Is that
an
okay?
amendment.
To the amendment.
Amendment to the
Amending
resolution.
the
To the motion. And there's a second
So
to
we
the
vote on
amendment.
so we vote on the amendment, we'll
Okay.
do the whole thing.
First off, on the amendment, all those in favor, further discussion, none? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay, motion carries. On the main motion
as a
to
resolution
approve
as amended?
the resolution as amended, no further discussion, none? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay, motion carries. Okay.
Well, Anne Marie's gonna have to work again.
Okay.
Now, I do have a question. I apologize for being late. I had forgot that there was a state funeral for my good friend John.
Yeah.
On Pinko, and they had asked me to go, and I said, yes, I would.
Good.
So anyway, this is a 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 1, right? At any time along the road, we can opt out. In other words, it's our option to keep going. It's not their option. Okay? Just to be clear. Okay, so that gives us the opportunity to do more work. If we think we can look around, we need to look around some more. Now, there's two sides to this coin. One side says, the insurance industry is the insurance industry, and right now they're in turmoil, and you're going to come out with just what you can get, and that's it. Or the other side of the coin is, we might be able to do better somewhere else or do something else, so we always want the option. So that option is there. We want to make sure that's understood. And John B. and John K., it would behoove you to, especially John K., to continually study this and go out and reach out for contacts and see what's available, so that as we get to the end of any year, either this first year or any option year, you may come back and say, hey, you know what, we're looking at something different. We need to do this before we get to the end of the period, so we know we can lock it in if we decide not to exercise the option. Do you understand? So that's critical, John. Okay? Okay. Anything else? What else is on the agenda? That's it. That's it? This is the only one left? For today's agenda. Now, we do still have the big one for Tuesday. You still want the approval of for... Yes. Okay. Okay, sure. Yes, okay. The ultra low sulfur diesel, that's just a fuel contract. Why, you don't need that right now? Okay, no, I just want to make sure. No problem. Okay, got it. You have time to get it done. Okay. Motion to adjourn?
We
Oh,
had,
wait,
just real quick, there was the resolution that we discussed. We want to continue discussion on this, or no?
You're talking about
You
Hanwha.
provided the amendment to the purchase agreement
Now, or?
on Tuesday?
Yeah.
Or is it Tuesday still, or is
Tuesday,
it?
it's Tuesday, 4 o'clock.
Alright.
And, yeah. That would be a November's PUC meeting.
Tuesdays at 4 o'clock, right? Not 5
Tuesdays
o'clock.
at 4 o'clock, and I'll explain why. I forgot that it's Halloween, and so I figured
gotta
that.
get in my costume.
I forgot.
gotta
No,
put one in
we have, our employees also have to go home and, and some of us have young kids still. Some of us don't have young kids, have grandchildren, but even those grandchildren are big, so forget that. They don't eat candy, they do other things, but hopefully the right things. But that's why it's 4 o'clock, please. That way we can get out earlier. I hope
Are we
so.
doing any trick or treating?
No, we're not. We're not at this age.
Any treats?
We're afraid that,
Power for?
you gotta wait for your heart, you don't want to trick your heart too much, it might stop.
At midnight
Okay.
Halloween, we'll give you.
John is a little tricky.
We're
Hey, John,
we're
we'll set the
adjourned.
whole island for 30
We
seconds
can-
on midnight
okay.
Halloween.
Thank
That's
you.
free power.